I'm going to show you a magic line to put on your chart that starts to flip the probabilities that Bitcoin will indeed make another higher high before a substantial pullback. Also, I'm going to show you key things down below on the price chart that Bitcoin might be staring at, and traditional markets just had a gap up, might want to refill that. And as they do, Bitcoin, because it's already staring down the pipe at these levels, it might want to go hit it. Let me show you what those are. However, as of now, we still have our bull hats on. Let's go take a look. I'm going to break down what we're staring at here. We are on the 4-hour chart. I only have on one, or I technically have two. I have on the monthly 10 EMA, but this yellow line here is the 4-hour 21 EMA. That's the magic line that begins flipping the probabilities of one more pump up before. So as of now, it is still probable that there's at least one more higher high due to my 14-minute video from yesterday where I go into detail on the 4-hour RSI, how it behaves specifically to coming up this high in the zone, dropping out of the green zone, and it breathes up one more time to make a higher high. It's an extremely probable trade. However, sometimes probabilities flip and you need to know where they begin flipping, right? So it's still probable, if I can say that word 3 times in a row. And that begins to change once there's a 4-hour closure, 4-hour candle closure, not a wick below, a closure below the 21 EMA. The things that Bitcoin is staring down includes a retest of the monthly 10 EMA, which I have on my chart here, which is white, and its own CME gap fill, which could align with traditional markets. Let's just go to NASDAQ composites. NASDAQ just had a big gap up, and a lot of times these gaps are filled relatively quickly. Bitcoin has a CME gap to fill. Traditional markets have gaps to fill. If the traditional markets really want to go fill that gap and Bitcoin moves along with traditional markets, which it does have a strong tendency to do, then Bitcoin could be staring down this 44.6 level, which would be both a retest of the monthly 10, which is always healthy, even though it already based off of this white line. It'd be one more retest. It would fill that gap, so it wouldn't have to come down necessarily and do it anytime later, which could be seen as healthy as well. However, that would be breaking the key levels from yesterday. I'm not going to go back over that. I will link you to that important video because everything I said in my video from yesterday still applies now because not much has changed. Therefore, if you missed my yesterday's analysis, I will link you to that at the end of this video. And I strongly suggest putting on your 4-hour 21 EMA and one more line. This is another magical line here. The daily open. I flip to the daily chart. I hover over this, and I know you can't see it up top here, okay, up here, but it says open OHLC. Actually, let's go like that. Now you can see it. I hover over this, and up here you can see open, high, low, close, all that, and it adjusts to wherever you're hovering over. Right now, you can see that the open, let's see here, was at 47,459. So 47,460. This line is going to be important because if Bitcoin does try to rip up today, you're going to be able to essentially manage your trades and decide, hey, this is going to start flipping up. If you can look at it on the smaller time frames, like even a 5-minute chart, and Bitcoin starts getting to this line, uses as support and wants to go up, that would be a green day after a strong backfill, and that happens quite frequently. I think today's daily open line, if it's going to flip bullish, is going to come in play and be extremely handy. And let's see here. Let's take a look at this daily candle here. And this white line is simply April 1st. Bitcoin needs to stay above this month from yesterday's video. It needs to stay above the monthly 10 as it hits this line, essentially. And if it can't do that, then that's extremely bearish. But anyway, see how this daily candle backfilled lower than the previous two candles? That's not overly uncommon. Let's find, I know there's one that happened pretty recently here. Here we go, right here. This happened on October 4th. See if I can zoom in a little bit more here. You had a strong move up, similar to what we just had, right? you had a cool off, and then you had today come even lower than the previous 2 days, but then it recovered and flipped green and then got continuation. This could be what's happening. I still think this is probable because of the 4-hour chart and the 4-hour RSI and the other daily 2-day indicators that are saying momentum wants to resolve itself to the upside. This could be what's happening, but the way you can take a really good look at this is being on a smaller time frame chart with your daily open line flipped in. And I promise you, daily open line sometimes really comes into play within trading. People are looking at it. And as you can see, look at all the activity that this line got since the daily open. Resistance, tried to use it as support, failed it, use it as resistance, use it as resistance, and it's trying to make higher low coming right back up to here. This could be used as resistance, but if you see the 5-minute chart come up to the daily open line, use it as support. Let me draw this out. That could indicate that on the daily scale, it's simply a big backfill before the day flips green. If you see this happen on the 5-minute chart with the daily open line there, that means from a daily perspective, the what's going on is this is going to flip green after a strong backfill, similar to the October 4th candle. But until you see that happen, I wouldn't necessarily say today is going to flip green and be that type of candle. However, you know when your probabilities flip to say, it is probable, it's statistically probable, over 51% chance that is what's happening if these conditions are met. As of now, in general, outside of when it happens, okay, independent of the daily candle, I do believe because Bitcoin is above its 4-hour 21 EMA, which is generally good. You generally get continuation with candle closures over it. And the 4-hour RSI still is saying it's statistically probable there's going to be one more higher high. I think as of now, even though Bitcoin's looking really slumpy, traditional markets might drag down Bitcoin. Bitcoin has some targets down below. As of now, it looks like it's going to give one more breath up before it goes down. But at least you know what to look out for, both from the high point, so the daily open, and if it can't get above there and starts getting droopy, you know what Bitcoin might be eyeballing down below. Closer to 44,600 is the CME gap fill. Hopefully these tools are useful to you throughout the rest of the week or even sooner. If you didn't check out my Bitcoin video analysis from yesterday, go ahead and click this video here. If you don't know how to set up a chart and you want a 28-minute video showing you how, click this video right here. You just got simplified worldwide. Peace.